What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Joe Talks About Nutrition Topics and discusses nutrition misconceptions that she's learned and researched over the years. Most of us go to the grocery and we buy all of these snacks and food products without even looking at the nutrition information. Reading these labels is a healthy habit that we should adapt because it will help us be familiar with what we are putting into our body. But most people don't know how to read these labels or how to interpret them, so they just skip it. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about how to read nutritional labels, what they mean, and what to look out for. And with that, let's get talking. What is a food label? Food labels provide us, consumers, with information that we need to make our food choices. We'll talk about the Codex Alimentarius, or the food code. This is just an international set of standards and guidelines. This ensures that the food that we are consuming is safe and can be traded. We have our own local rules and regulations on food labeling, which you can find in the Administrative Order number 88B. There's a lot of requirements and a lot of details in this, so I won't go into that too much. So first, let's look at our food packaging. Food products have a principal display panel, which is right here. It also has an information panel, which should be adjacent to the principal display panel, and you can find that right here. A few mandatory labels for all food products is one, of course, the food name. Like in this box of Cheerios here, you have Cheerios, whole grain oats. Your list of ingredients. So all packaging has their list of ingredients in descending order, which means the very first ingredient listed on the label is the ingredient that has the most amount in that food product. Like in this box of Cheerios, the first ingredient has whole grain oats. In proportion to all of the other ingredients, whole grain oats has the most. Another very important thing to watch out for in the ingredients is the allergen information. Usually they put this in bold writing or they leave it below contains blank. But if it says may contain, means that that product was manufactured in the same place or nearby an area that has those allergens. You have your big 8 or food items that most people are allergic to. Milk, eggs, fish, crustaceans like shellfish, tree nuts, peanuts, soybean, and wheat. So now let's talk about one of the most important parts of your food packaging, the nutrition information panel. The nutrition information panel is required to declare your carbohydrates, protein, and fat contents, as well as certain minerals and vitamins that it has. It also has to have the serving size. So this is a little tricky, and a lot of the times we miss the serving size. For example, in this box of Cheerios, it says that one serving has 100 calories. It is stated right under the word that says nutrition facts that one serving is 28 grams. Something you should do is compare the amount that you actually eat to the serving size. Especially when we're eating chips. We finish a whole bag of chips. It says that in one bag of chips there's 5 servings, which means 150 times 5. I'll let you do that. All of the nutrition information in terms of carbs, protein, fat, and your micronutrients are also listed in terms of the serving size. You eat more of the serving size, you get proportionally more of the nutrients. If you eat less than the serving size, you get proportionally less than the nutrients stated. Calories are usually stated in kilojoules or kilocalories. Don't add the calories from fat with your calories. For example, in this box of Cheerios, there is 100 calories per serving and 15 calories from fat, which means that from that 100 calories, 15 of it comes from your fat source. So under your fat, you have your saturated fat, your trans fat, and we'll also sometimes say your polyunsaturated fat or your monounsaturated fat. Try to stay away from your saturated fats and your trans fats because those are the fats that our body doesn't really need. Carbs are listed and divided into sugars and fibers, so make sure to check that nutrition information to see how much sugar is in the product that you are going to consume. Protein is also listed. Usually when a food item is high in protein, the saturated fat is also high, so make sure to check them both. Food labels should also include the amount of sodium. Try to find lower sodium snacks because sodium does contribute to bloating and can increase your blood pressure if you have too much. In food labels, aside from the amount, there is also a percentage that they put in the side. There's an asterisk that usually says daily value. For example, one serving of these Cheerios has 20 grams of carbohydrates, or 7% of your daily needed carbohydrate intake. Usually the daily values listed below is for a 2,000 calorie diet and it's usually based off a 19 to 25-year-old male. So if your daily requirements are about 1,800 calories, then the percent daily value should be higher. You can use these percentages to compute the nutrient value of certain food items. 5% daily value is quite low, while 15% daily value is a lot. But that depends on whether that is a snack or for your main meal. Now that we've talked about the information panel, let's talk about health claims. Nutrition claims are optional, but they do give you a little view on the amount of a specific nutrient provided by that food item. An example example of a health claim would be in this Cheerio box over here, gluten-free. That means that that product has no gluten, which means it has no wheat grains. Fat-free labels just means that there is less than 0.5 grams of fat. Low-fat means there's less than 3 grams of fat. Cholesterol-free means there's about less than 2 milligrams. It also means that there's low saturated fat and trans fat. Reduced in calories usually means that it's about 25% less calories than a food item it's being compared to. So if your usual bread is 100 calories and another bread is selling it for reduced in calories, it should be about 75 calories. The label light is usually put in food items that says reduced fat or reduced in calories. Zero trans fat means there is less than 0.5 milligrams. In a nutrition information panel, you'll see trans fat 0 grams, but it's not necessarily means that it's 0. It just means it's less than 0.5. Sugar-free also means that there is less than 0.5 grams of sugar in that food item. Organic means at least 95% of the ingredients used is organic. 100% organic means that the methods used to create that food item or make that food item is supposedly good for the earth, such as no fertilizer. Natural means that there's no artificial color, no artificial flavoring, and should have no preservatives or synthetic ingredients. Other labels to look out for are the ones that say fair trade. This means that these items were traded fairly in price between countries. Good manufacturing practices, or the GMP label, means that the food products are consistently produced and controlled according to quality standards. And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you learned a little something, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. For more of these series, don't forget to subscribe. Till the next video, stay fab and eat for your body.